Hi, thank you so much for joining me for today's process video. And today I decided I wanted to start pulling out my scraps. I've got a Western box. If you're in the UK, it's a box that it's around an inch deep, 12 by 12 or just slightly larger so you can fit your branding strips in. And I use one of those to keep all my scraps. You probably all know that I'm a bit of a hoarder when it comes to scraps, and I do keep everything, and I'm struggling to keep the lid closed on that box now, so it's definitely time that something needs to be done. I did consider moving the scraps out and filing them by colour, because that's how I tend to use my scraps. So like today I'm pulling out all the blues and greens to go with these photos, but I realised that that was just giving me an excuse to keep even more scraps and not use them. So I'm determined to get this box down a little bit, and this layout is the first in a series of layouts I'm going to be using my scraps on. So as I mentioned, I pulled out blues and greens. I'm not too concerned whether they're graphic papers or grungy papers. I just wanted colours that would work nicely with my photos. The photos are from back in August 2011, and it was my mum's birthday. We were all away on holiday, my sister and her family, mum and dad and me and my family, and we'd hired a large house on the Clan Peninsula in North Wales, and we're just sitting around the table with Granny for her birthday. You can see there's wine on the table, balloons, party blowers that my sister had got. It was a fabulous afternoon. The kids really loved it. So I've just cut strips of these papers that I pulled out in varying widths, and the length, well, the width now as they're laid on the paper are all under 12 inches. Some of the scraps dictated the width, and some of them I had to trim down ever so slightly. And then the depths of the papers, I just eyeballed, some deeper and some not so deep. So now I'm just using my pencil to mark down where the top and bottom strip are going to go, and then I'm going to go through each strip and use my Tim Holtz edge distresser to distress the long edges only. I'm leaving the sides as they are, but distressing the long edges, and I'm using my ATG gun to stick everything down. So some of these will be layered on top of each other, and some of them will be butted up against one another. But you can see I've more or less got halfway up now, and then I decided I wanted to get the top piece stuck down so that then I could work my way down to the middle and work out how much I needed to overlap. I didn't want to have gaps or run out of room to put the last few strips, because I was really happy with the pieces that I'd cut. And also I think once I've cut papers, I've committed to using them. So just bringing in my T-square to check that that top piece was straight before I carry on. The other ones don't matter so much because it evens out, but the top and bottom I really did want to be straight. You can see this one I'm sticking slightly wonky, but it all works out. Now the other thing that I struggled with before I started filming was the sizes of my photos. So I've got two that are around 4x4, and then I've got the 4x6 photo at the top, which I trimmed down slightly to probably about 4x5. So I had an awkward gap if I wanted to create a block, and the way I've solved that is by choosing a tag. Again, this is from my scraps box. It's one of the Simple Stories Fresh Air tags. I use that for a page kit for Hey Little Magpie, so I had a few bits left. I'd done 2 pages from the papers, and so everything else went into my scraps box, and that's the reason that it's overflowing at the moment, because I've done a few page kits recently, and if I do extra inspiration or just the layout itself, I have quite a lot left quite often that just needs to go in the scraps box. So matting these photos onto white card means that they'll stand a bit more prominently out, so that you can see them more clearly over those strips. So just trimming that last bit down, and then I can get those stuck down onto the page. So I decided to come in with my Sticks to foam pads. The background is quite textured, so I think I would have struggled to stick it straight down with an ATG or what have you. So using foam pads just raises it above all those distressed edges there. I will stick the tag straight down to the page though, because I want that to sit below all the other photos. So going through with these 25mm Sticks to foam pads. These are sold on a roll and they're amazing. We sell them at Hey Little Magpie. They last forever, but a friend did say cut them up and put them in a box because the roll doesn't stay rolled up. So it becomes a huge mess if you don't cut them into strips. But they're absolutely brilliant and really easy to use. So just pulling the backings off those, and then I can get that last photo stuck down and then work on the tag. So for these scraps pages, I'm also pulling out all the old bits and pieces that I've got in my drawer that I'm also trying to use up. So it really is a stash busting exercise because my stash is very slowly starting to grow and creep into places that I don't want it to go into. I want to keep it nice and curated. So just focusing on using these bits every so often is good, really, just to keep things in check. So I did consider using that tag on the other side, but then decided that I do like that yellow. That pop of yellow is really nice, and Amelia's got yellow on her dress that she's wearing in the photo, so I decided to stick with that side. So just making sure it's not neatly tucked underneath that photo. This tag is brilliant because it's got a gingham background, so it had the guidelines for me to line it up under those photos. So now I'm going into the Chit Chat stickers that I got from Twilight Crop and Craft crop the other weekend, and I'm just adding some of those to my tag. And then I've just chosen the words family together. It's an absolutely brilliant sticker book that I would highly recommend getting one just to add little bits and pieces to your pages. So this is a really old clear sticker book from Me and My Big Ideas. I think this was before they did their planner stuff, but I just love this for pocket pages when I was doing Project Life a lot more. So first of all, I pull out this arrow that says look at this, and just add that to the right, and then I wanted another one to add to the left to balance things out, so I just found one that said love this life, so I added it to that strip. And then this circle just says the best, because mum is the best. So I added that to that tag, and then just looking through to see if there's anything else I can find. And it's these flags. I love these flags, they're great for adding onto photos. So I found one that says my life next to my boy and my nephew, and then one at the bottom of the other one that says so blessed, and that's of the whole family. My niece Elizabeth wasn't even one in this photo, so she wasn't sitting at the table with the rest of them. A little puffy sticker from Ellie's Studios that says look at that smile, and now I'm just going through some I think these are Vicky Boutin stickers just to see what I can find there. So I find a little tab that I can add to the top to add my date, and then a little word sticker on a washi tape that says keep life simple. And we really did that week. It was more about going to the beach and just being together. It was great fun. So just getting that stuck down. And then seeing what else I've got in here. Nothing in that one, but this one is all my really old stickers. So straight away a jelly bean soup sticker that says today. It's a little flag, so that gets stuck there. And then this banner that says smile, and I just line that up with the edge of that green strip at the bottom there and add that. I've got hundreds of these grey Project Life arrows. I swear they're breeding. I think they came in a pack with about 6 sheets, so they've lasted an awful long time, but I really want to get some more of these used up. So just dotting those around the page, just adding them to the white spaces, and then quickly looking through to see if there's anything else I can add. I do find another word phrase here that says you are the best, so I add that just overlapping the edge of that tag there. And then on this is actually a wintry sticker sheet, but it had one that says memories, so I'm just adding that as well. It's in the same colour palette, those greens and blues that I was looking for. So you can see I pulled out my ink pad there, forgetting that this was 2011 and my roller date doesn't go back that far, so I just hand wrote the date there, and then I'm adding my journaling along the bottom of the page. Just wanted to fill in that gap a little bit to the right. I felt I started off too far on the left and didn't have anything else to add next to the words North Wales, but I do balance that out shortly. I'm just going to add some of this black gingham ribbon through the tag, and I just tie it with a piece of cotton to hold it together at the bottom. I didn't want to add a knot or a bow, but just tying some cotton around the bottom sort of keeps it in place and makes it look like it's tied together. And this is just standard black cotton that I use on my sewing machine normally. So just trimming up those ends. And then I'll go back to the bottom, and I decide to add a wax seal down there. I've got this beautiful blue one that I'd pre-made, so I'm just going to colour in the lettering to make it stand out a little more. It just says happy birthday, and then I can add that to that bottom corner, and I just feel that adds a little bit more balance, like I say, because I'd started the writing a little bit further left than I would have liked with hindsight. So using one of those 3M stickers to add this wax seal, and then I'm going to pop a little foam pad behind just where it overlaps the end of the photo, just to keep it in place. And that's it. So there's my first layout of many, I hope, using my scraps. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you soon. Bye.